Hello and welcome back to Cthree Vohm. We, as you can see, are in a different setup today. This is my home. I warn you in advance, the lights may go on and off from this direction, so it may mess up the shot. Can't do much about it, I've got a pet snake. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at TMB notes. They've sent us out some lovely offerings for our show, and I'm wearing one of their shirts, as you can see. But this is a bit of a test to see how this setup goes and if it's any good. The liquids are good. Whether the segment works or not, I don't know. I'll let you know. So first off, I wanted to talk about them and what they do on their website, which they do quite a bit. They do tanks, rebuildables, they do supplies, you know, they do your cottons, they do, I mean, I've made a list here. Concentrates, vape supplies, DIY supplies, they do a lot. But today, because we have actually reviewed them in the past, we're reviewing their newest range, which is the Maximum VG. And I'm going to be testing these, 4 of them. I had them all lined up. I've got Queen Jelly Bean, Pink Lemonade, Frozen Apple, and Green Dragon, which is going to be the interesting one. Try my hardest not to move around too much because I'm not sure how stable this mic is, so if it isn't, I apologise. So yeah, I'll get straight onto this. I've been looking forward to it for a while, trying to sort out which one to taste first. But I'm going to work from my right to my left and save the interesting one for last. So I've got Pink Lemonade here. Now, they've brought out a new style of packaging, as of a lot of people now that TDP's come in. It comes in a little cardboard package that looks a little bit like a barrel, and it comes with your 3 e-liquids in there, all 3mg for me. Now, I'm not sure whether I prefer e-liquids like this in 3mg, or whether I prefer a big bottle and add your own nicotine to it. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. So like with your add your own nicotine, you've got complete control over how much nicotine you put in. But with this, I can, it's just vape and ready to go. But I mean, the advantage to this for me is because when I'm reviewing, I can like go, right, I'm going to take this one the day before, I'm going to vape it, I'm going to work out whether I like it or not. I have already vaped them, and I do know I like this one. But I've saved another one just for the review, so I can tell you like my instant thoughts of it as soon as I taste it. And then the third one I can give to somebody else. I give it to someone else, they have a taste of it, they're, I like this about it, I don't like this, don't like that about it, which I have actually done with several of the, well, I said several, there's only 4. But I have had my mum taste some of them, because I couldn't make my mind up how I felt about them. I have now, thankfully. But we're starting off with Pink Lemonade on the Wismic, and I'm going to turn it down because I've got a feeling that my coil is probably the wrong voltage. There we go. Yeah, we're going at 30 on the Royal Hunter on the Wismic. Now, this has actually been sitting on the cotton for a few days, so it's nice and soaked in. Now, the first thing about this is it has a bit of a strawberry flavour to it, which is nice. It's pink lemonade, so I don't know, sometimes I think, oh well, pink lemonade strawberry, other times I think, oh well, it's not. I don't know, it's pink. But this one you can definitely taste a hint of strawberry to the citrus. Just going to turn it up a bit more because there wasn't much off of that. yeah, there's definitely a hint of citrus there, and I'd say that this is a fairly decently balanced e-liquid. The one thing about it being max VG that makes it different from the other ones is, I mean, as I said, you know, it's actually been sitting on the coil for quite some time now. When I first got it out, remembering that I have tried these ones before, I just, you know, straight on the coil and it just went everywhere because it was too thick, it didn't soak in straight away. So I would definitely say that if you're going to drip this liquid, take your time. It's thicker. It is a lot thicker, which is obvious. But easier said than done. You think, oh, just stick it on. No, everywhere. Although my bed sheets did smell quite nice for a while. But yeah, as pink lemonades go, and I've tasted a lot of Silas's, this one is a very good one, and I've got a feeling that he's going to pinch this from me. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he thinks of this. And obviously you can put it up on a higher coil and you'll get more of a cloud from that. That one's just built at what I would call optimum tasting temperature. And now I'm going to go for the Queen Jelly Bean on the Unholy. Now I recently got myself a Death Wish from Steep House, which I love. I love very, very, very much. But it came with this Unholy art dripper. And again, I am quite in love with that one too. But this one goes up to 40 because that's just my all day. Oh no, even better, it goes up to 50. Nice one. Anyway, Queen Jelly Bean. What I liked about this one has absolutely nothing to do with vaping. My cat, which closer friends of mine know, when you say jelly bean, he hides his paws because I tickle his paws because I think his little toe beans look like jelly beans. It's a silly thing, but it amuses me because he actually hides them. So anything to do with jelly beans quite amuse me. I tasted this the other day and I really liked it. It was a very good balance, but I'm going to try it again now just to refresh my memory and taste buds. Now, the strange thing about this is it is actually very refreshing. You'd think that the lemonade would be more refreshing, but it's actually late on the evening now. So it's, you know, my taste buds have had a day full of food and coffee and everything, but now tasting that, I actually feel like my taste buds are cleared and they're different. It's not menthol. Nothing to do with menthol. I'm really enjoying that actually. So hopefully this take records so I can just go off and vape the rest of this. We will see. I mean, the main flavour that hits me at first is the sugar coating on the outside of a jelly bean. Now, obviously some people are like, oh, each colour tastes different, but I think that depends on which jelly beans you get. I mean, obviously the American Jelly Bellies are all different flavours, and if, like me, you're a Harry Potter fan, you would say that Bertie Bott's have different flavours, and but the main thing, it's almost like a mixed fruit flavour with a crispy sugar coating, which is very nice, very refreshing. A lot different from what I've been vaping recently as well, which I've tended to gone for like maple and golden syrup flavours and oranges, but this one's a nice mixed fruit. But yeah, that's definitely one that I think I will go back and get again. I mean, generally the thing is, when I get liquid tin to taste, I say, oh, I will get that again. No, I really will go back and get this one. I'm not sure whether I would go back for the Max VG version or just a regular version. There is a price difference, which I will talk about later. But flavour-wise, it's probably one of the best like jelly bean Skittle ones I've ever had. Because it really does taste like jelly beans, not just of mixed sweetie fruit. This one I've been really excited to try. I know I've said that about all of them so far, but when I tried to pick these, I tried to pick flavours that I know other people would like. So for example, knowing that Silas's favourite is pink lemonade, I went for pink lemonade. Jelly bean was a bit of a wild card because I don't know many people that don't like that flavour. But I like apple, and this is frozen apple. So obviously I assume that would be kind of mentholy and have that taste, and I like menthol. I also like apple. At the moment I've been enjoying the Labs cider sundae, which, as if you check my older videos, you'll see that I absolutely love. They have a new range out as well, which I will do a review on soon. But this one is the apple, frozen apple. And that will go on the Limitless on the cool fire. And I crank that up to the highest it will go. And that one's got a very crisp taste to it. I mean, another one of my favourites recently in apple flavours has been the Pom range, which I found at the expo recently. That one's very, very tasty, but that kind of tastes like candy apple. This one actually has a very crispy, fruity taste to it. I would say it's a red apple flavour, which is good considering they've made the packaging red. But I do think that there's a difference between red and green apples. Like, green ones are a bit more tart, red ones are a lot more sweet, and that one's definitely got the sweetness of a red apple to it. The frozen is very muted to it, although I'm sure if I was to give it to Silas, he'd go, no, don't like it because of that. But me liking it so much, it's quite dull. So it's not overpowering. So if you want something that, you know, with it being summer at the moment, you want something a little bit colder, a bit more refreshing, that's perfect for now. Now, one thing that I will say about this range is it doesn't stay with you. Like, a lot of the flavours will stay in your mouth and you can keep tasting it after you've vaped, but once this is out of your mouth, it's gone. So it's very easy to vape the whole bottle of it. Yeah, I mean, I really had to hold back from just vaping all of it. Part of the reason why I'm looking forward to getting this review out is so I can have the rest of it. But yeah, so that one was the frozen apple. Now this last one is a bit of a wild card because I'd never seen it before. I thought, right, I'm going to give this a go. And it is Indian Pan called Green Dragon. It's an Indian, when I spoke to the guys, they said it's an Indian flavour. It's an authentic Indian herby spicy flavour. Okay, alright, I'll give it a go. But I tasted it the other day and I was like, okay, I can't quite identify the flavours in that, that's different. And I couldn't quite make my mind up on it, it's very floral. That's way too high. Whoops. Oh, the other thing is, when I did have this the other day, my bedroom smelt of it for ages. I mean, I know I just said that, you know, it doesn't actually stay with you, but the smell stayed in my room for ages. And I'm not complaining. I really, really like the smell. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. I mean, the first thing it reminds me of is rose water. But then when I sit on it and think for a while, I think, no, it's not quite rose water. It could be lavender. Anyway, I decided to look it up. Now, I did write a little note about it to remind myself what the flavours actually were in Pan. Now, whether the flavours in Pan are the same as what's actually in that, I don't know. But apparently it's a lime paste and a Indian nut, although being sensitive to nuts, I've not had any comeback from that. Thankfully. That's just reminded me why I do this at Silas's place, because he always turns my phone off when we record. That's why. I'm sure I'll learn this as I go along. Anyway, so it was lime, a type of tobacco, a special nut, and apparently it's got psychoactive effects. Reading into it, it was, from what I could see, like an Indian absinthe, but not absinthe flavour, you know, it's complete, like, what their people would use instead of absinthe. But it's definitely, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's different. I would definitely say it's an acquired taste. I mean, when I was saying earlier about having to give a bottle to someone else to get their opinion on, this is why it was very useful, because I was able to say to my mum, like, try this. You like lavender, you like rose water, have a taste of this and let me know what you think, because I used to love the Parma Violet vape, and she loves the rose water. I still love the rose water vape. She loves it. So I gave it to her to try, and she said that's definitely pleasant. Can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it's pleasant. So if you know that you like Parn, and I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right, I would definitely say go out and give it a go. I mean, I'm looking forward to giving this to other people to try and go, taste this and let me know what you think of this. I mean, I'm going to go down to Steve's house as soon as I can and go, try this. You know, I can't, you know, it's weird, but weird isn't always a bad thing. I'm looking forward to my bedroom smelling of this now, because it saved me having to light incense. But yeah, so going back to TMB Notes as a company, they sell a lot of good stuff, and their communication with me has been fantastic. I mean, this is one of their shirts. Thankfully, they gave it to me. I'm going to enjoy wearing this because it's got a barrel on it and a skull and crossbones, and it kind of reminds me of pirates. Pirates are always a good thing. Yeah, as I said, they sell a load of different vaping supplies. Something to note as well, that is, it's tmbnote.co. I will put the link in the description because I'm not sure I've got that right completely, but it's .co, not .com, which confused me. I thought it was a misprint. No, that's what it is. So yeah, as overall as an e-liquid, very good. I don't know that I would use it purely on a dripper. I probably would use it on a tank, purely because of the whole absorption rate, which, you know, it would be much easier when you've got a load of it in a tank just to absorb as you go. Otherwise, you're going to be dripping it for ages before you actually get a full, long full, unless you've got patience. Which with me, I can't set up another dripper without having something to vape on. So, yeah, I'd definitely go for a tank, and I would definitely be going back to get some more of that jelly bean, and quite possibly the frozen apple. I do really like the Parn, but I can't see it as one that I would vape all day, every day. It'd probably just be one to have occasionally. I mean, as always, it's up to your own flavour palette, but I personally probably wouldn't vape it all day, but it is nice for a change. It's very different, and I've never found anything on the vape market, anything like it. Which is always good for a company to have something completely new and different. So yeah, the camera has recorded. So I thought I'd just finish this closing off segment with my co-host. Not as fluffy as Shadow, I'm afraid. But yeah, I would definitely order from them again. And so far, I'm quite happy with what they've sent me. And I am very impressed with the Parn. I've never found anything like it. And I've never tasted anything like it either. So I can't say that it's anything like any other flavours out there. It's definitely interesting, so if you want something new, completely new, definitely go for it. I'm quite happy that my room's going to be smelling nice for the next few days. Because someone's just had some food, hasn't he? Yep. Anyway, thanks for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye.